night goes on.
Before the video starts, go ahead and swing by to my Big Cartel website where you can buy some cool merchandise. Link is in the description down below. What's up, guys? Welcome to another freaking video. Today we're going to be talking about buying your first used car either online or, down the street. So let's get to it. So we're going to be using the S13 as an example, but this works with every car. It doesn't have to be an S13. It can be any other car. So these are the things that you guys should look out for. One thing is make sure all the tires are okay. Make sure they have a lot of meat in them, and make sure you're checking every tire. A lot of times people don't really tell you the truth, and if you're planning on driving it home, you gotta check if all the tires are nice and good. Right, so you checked all the tires were good. Next step is make sure you tell the seller if he can pop the hood and you can check out the engine. All right, guys, so next step you guys need to do is make sure all the fluids are okay. So check the brake fluid, see if that's okay. So there's a good brake fluid. Check the radiator fluid, check that as well. There's water in there. And lastly, check the power steering fluid as well. Make sure these reservoir caps, like an example, make sure they're not broken, make sure it's nice and it's, there's no cracks or anything, because this can prevent future damages as well. Cool way to see if the head gasket is fine is by taking off the radiator and starting the car. Usually what happens is bubbles start coming out. So if a lot of bubbles start coming out, then the actual head gasket of the engine, it's about to go out. All right, so my example, everything's fine. There's no bubbles or anything. It's all solid. That's what you want. You don't want bubbles coming out, because that's a sign that the head gasket's about to go out. So make sure there's no bubbles. Most common thing you can actually do is check under the car and see if there's any leaks. You're just looking for oil leaks, water leaks, and whatever's leaking under. All right, so you did the radiator fluid test. Now you have to check for the air filter, see it's been swapped out. A lot of times when people are trying to sell cars, they don't change this out, and when you're driving it, your car starts to bog, or your throttle response is not that great. So reason being is because this is actually dirty. So always check the air filter as well, see if it's been swapped out. You check the tires, you check the fluids, you did the radiator leak test, you also check their air filter. Next up is asking the seller if you can go for a drive. Ask the seller if you can drive the car. A lot of time the seller won't let you drive the car unless you have cash up front. Show them the cash, but do not give it to them. I repeat, do not give them the cash. Reason why is because you want to check if the shocks need to be replaced, and also when you're driving, see if the steering's a little funky or something like that. But yeah, this is a perfect way where you can see if the car rides smooth or if it needs any other work. Trust me, you guys don't want to spend at least $300 to $400 on new suspension. All right, guys, so the seller actually let you guys test drive the car. So what you guys want to look out for with the steering wheel, the things that I learned is when you guys are driving, make sure the steering wheel is straight and not tilted to the side. If it's tilted to the side, that means you need an alignment, and you're gonna have to spend more money just to get an alignment. Also, if it's tilted to the side, it can be a couple of reasons why it's tilted to the side. One, it can be that one of the front tires have, there's a big old ball in it, or it hasn't been rotated. Or two, there can be used joints such as tie rod ends, ball joints, lower control arm, etc., etc. And you're actually gonna have to go under the car and figure out why the steering wheel is tilted to the side. And my last tip for the steering wheel is when you guys are driving and you feel the steering wheel shake back and forth, that's a big no as well, because again, it can be either the tires are bad, or it can be something that's loose, or the joints are worn out. Either it can be a ball joint, tie rod end, lower control arm, whatever the case is, one of the bushings on those parts are broken or they're torn up. So you found out like everything was okay, tires were good, checked all the fluids, you did the actual radiator leak test to see if there's a blown head gasket or the engine's about to go through another head gasket. You also checked, the air filter. When you test drove it, you tested the steering wheel was good, your turning, everything was great. All right, so next up you guys have to ask is for the title. A lot of the time the seller either won't have the title or they'll give you a bill of sale. So once you guys hear that, stop, and you know what, don't even bother getting the car, because you don't know if something's wrong with the title with the car. And if there is a problem with the title of the car, then you have to pay extra money just to register that car under your name. Let's say the seller told you, you know what, I have the title, but the car is salvage. All right, if the car is salvage, that's it. Don't even bother, giving them cash. Don't even start talking. Just tell them, you know what, thank you for letting me check out the car. I'm gonna just keep looking around. Reason why you guys don't want to salvage cars is because you don't know if that car's been molested. You don't know if that car's been in an accident. You don't know if that car has been stolen. Pretty much, you do not know what happened with the car. So if the car is salvage, back out from it. Don't even bother, because you're actually gonna be spending more money on it. You're gonna be fixing a lot of stuff on that car. And for me, every time I see a salvage title of a car, I pretty much say it's a lemon car. And I don't even bother, I don't bother checking out the car anymore if it's salvage title, because I don't know what the person did to the car. Alright guys, so an example of a clean title is when they give you the pink slip, you want to make sure that wherever you're from, make sure the title is clean. So this is my pink slip for my 240. So title's clean, everything's good. And yeah, I'm fortunate to have a actual clean title 240, because that's freaking rare. So let's say you're ready, you're ready to buy the car. So what I want you guys to do is ask the seller a bunch of questions. Make sure when you guys read the post of like the seller selling a car, make sure you guys read what he's talking about. For an example, the biggest thing I always do is if they say, oh, engine got rebuilt. All right, if they said that the engine got rebuilt, ask them, hey, I just saw the post of your car and it says that the engine's been rebuilt. Do you have receipts of the car, being rebuilt? If they say no, then that's pretty much a big sign that they didn't do it, and the car that might be the original engine. Or also, let's say if they said, oh, your car passed smog legally, ask them for last year's smog check. Be like, hey, did I read your post that it said that it passed smog with no problems. Do you have the paper from last year? If they don't have that paper, then that's also a big problem as well, because you don't know. Pretty much, you don't know what happened with that car. All right, so for my 240, when I bought it, the person actually had all the receipts when I asked them questions. So the first one was, head gasket. He actually replaced the head gasket. The guy was actually cool enough, and he gave me the receipt like, hey, dude, I replaced the head gasket. So he had this. He also replaced which was a water pump as well. That's where I got the warranty for the water pump, because he had actual receipt for the water pump. And he also changed the front rotors as well. So the front rotors are in the receipt. And he actually gave me last year's paper smog check. So here's the smog paper. He actually, when I bought it, he's like, yeah, dude, the car passed smog with no problems. I actually have the paper from last year. He gave it to me. And pretty much we made a deal. And yeah, that's how I got my car. And that's what I want you guys to do, is ask questions to the seller, because you guys don't know what the car has been through. And plus, make the seller feel uncomfortable. There's no problems asking questions. Just make them feel uncomfortable. The more you make him feel uncomfortable, the more he's gonna tell you like, I did this. I think I did this last year. So you're gonna get a better understanding if the guy's lying or he's telling you the truth. All right, guys. So my last tip before you guys buy a used car is, if you guys see a car that's like, dude, I want this car, and I'm telling you, man, it's like that feeling that's just telling you like, dude, buy it. If that car doesn't plan out the way, I explained, then don't get that car. The reason why is because your first choice might not be the best, but your second choice is going to be better. And that way, you're saving more money as well to get a better car, which probably has a clean title, low miles, and stuff like that. So if the first choice doesn't plan out, then your second choice is going to be better, your best choice. Just be patient, guys. Trust me, there's cars selling from left and right. Just be patient, and you will find that perfect car. Trust me, you will find that perfect car. It's just the matter of how patient you guys are. Just an example for myself, I'm trying to find a 300ZX, but I'm being really patient, because I've been going through Craigslist and stuff like that, and a lot of them have problems like misfire or timing's off, or just read one that they had to change the injectors. So yeah, just be patient. While I'm being patient, I'm actually saving more money to get a better 300ZX that hasn't had any problem. So just be patient, guys. The car is gonna be, trust me, you're gonna get that perfect car. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully you found this video very helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys haven't followed me on social media, please follow me on my social media. I'm gonna leave everything on the description down below. And if you guys have questions, like if you guys are gonna go buy a car for the first time, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat. I'm gonna leave everything on the description down below. So yeah, you guys can ask me questions and I'll do my best, you know, to answer back. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Later, dudes.
Want to keep the peace and help people. Give some of this money that I'm making to the people. So if you hating on me, goddamn you evil. And just don't understand, cause I'm flyer than Knievel. Been through a lot of shit, but I keep it on the deep low. Never busting in them streets, but I keep it G though. I ain't in the fairy tales, I'm just me, ho.